Hi everybody, it's Randy Hilarski here. Today, we're going to talk about one of the hottest topics in crypto. I'm going to take you through a presentation that was done about Mimblewimble coins. And we're going to talk about the three largest projects in the Mimblewimble space right now and why it is important. I'm going to talk to you about what Mimblewimble is, the inflation of these currencies, deflation, whatever these currencies have, how they're mined. I'm going to go through all these graphics. I hope you enjoy it. And at the end, make sure you like and comment on the video. Thank you. So let's share the screen and get to work here. All right. The title of it is The Battle of Mimblewimbles, a comparative analysis of privacy protecting currencies, cryptocurrencies. First up, we have Grin, we have Epic Cash, and we have Beam. Epic Cash is very new. The mainnet launched on September 2nd, 2019. Well, we're going to compare all three of these. Let's go to the first slide. What is Mimblewimble? Mimblewimble is a blockchain design in which transactions are structured and stored in a new manner. It is another application of a blockchain proof of work that enables enhanced privacy and better scalability of the network. Mimblewimble is a protocol that was put forward by an anonymous user in a Bitcoin developers chat room by the name of Tom Elvis Judasor, the French name of fictional Harry Potter character Voldemort. Mimblewimble itself is the name of a spell used to tongue-tie victims in Harry Potter. So, if you've been around crypto for a while and you are the developer side of it, you probably heard about Mimblewimble back in 2016. I first heard about it from a video, I think it was Andrew Polstra, and it got me very excited. So let's go a little bit more. Mimblewimble is changing the traditional blockchain transaction model. It enables a blockchain to have a more compact history to download, synchronize, and check, which is simpler and quicker. There are no recognizable or reusable addresses in a Mimblewimble blockchain, which means that all transactions appear to an outsider like random data. Only their corresponding respondents can see the transaction data. So rather than a mixture of many, a Mimblewimble block feels like a big transaction. All right. So what does it do? It decreases the blockchain size. It increases the blockchain scalability. So we can make things we can offer a lot more content within, or a lot of data within the blockchain, and it won't bloat the blockchain. Remember what problem we had in 2017 with Bitcoin in the Bitcoin Cash saga. Oh, we need to go to larger blocks. With Mimblewimble, we could probably avoid some of this. So another great feature is the transaction privacy and coin fungibility. We need fungibility in money. That's my belief. I know a lot of my friends who have been in crypto for many years, like myself. This is the one piece of Bitcoin that we don't agree on. We don't agree on the transparency. We believe that all money should be private, and fungibility is one of the aspects. All right, so let's go to the next slide. Here's the three coins. Tell you a little about the history of each. Grin, it was launched on January 15, 2019. It's a cryptocurrency focused on privacy without censorship in its implementation of Mimblewimble. The users want Grin to be usable by everyone, regardless of borders, culture, skills, or access. Without address information or amounts stored in the blockchain, the chain is meant to be lean and scalable. Grin is a cryptocurrency that was founded by an unknown individual who currently operates under the pseudonym Ignatius Cabral, another fictional character from the Harry Potter series. The Grin mainnet went live on January 15, 2019, and was free of an ICO, pre-mine, or founder's reward. It embodies many of the properties of the Mimblewimble protocol. All right, so if you're a Grin fan, thank you guys. Open source software, I'm all about it. This is where it's at in the online world. I think open source is going to change the world. All right. So next, let's talk about Epic Cash. Epic Cash is the final point in the journey towards true P2P internet cash, the cornerstone of a private financial system. The Epic currency aims to become the world's most effective, privacy-protecting form of digital money. In order to fulfill that goal, it satisfies the three principal functions of money: store value, medium of exchange, and unit of account. Epic blockchain was developed from 2017 and released on 2nd September 2019 by the Freeman family, the pseudonym used to describe the Epic community. Epic Cash has never been funded through ICO, presale, or any type of token sale, and it never had a company controlling Epic. It is 100% community driven. All right. Now, Beam. Beam is a cryptocurrency that demonstrates an emphasis on privacy and anonymity with Mimblewimble implementation launched in March 2018. Without address information stored on the blockchain and keeping transactions private by default, Beam is meant to give control over privacy to users and scalability in its compact design. Based on the Mimblewimble protocol, Beam is built using programming language C++, headed by entrepreneur Alexander Zadelson. Beam released its mainnet on January 3rd, 2019. Its release did not include any ICO pre-mine. However, Beam did secure venture capital funding. Okay. Let's compare the three now. Subunit name, NanoGrin, Freeman, Beam is Groth. Let's not go too much into this. We have fictional characters for Grin and Epicash, but Alexander Zadelson was the founder of Beam. No white paper for Grin. There's the link for the white paper for Epicash and the one for Beam. Genesis date, 15 January 19 for Grin, 2nd of September 19 for Epicash, and March 2018 for Beam. Ledger type, Grin, public, decentralized, UTXO-based. Epicash, public, decentralized, UTXO-based, multi-algorithm. And Beam, public, decentralized, UTXO-based. They are all proof of work. The hash function is, for Grin, is Cuckoo 29D, Cuckoo 31 plus. Epicash uses RandomX protocol, Cuckoo 31 plus, and Beam uses Equihash. So block rewards, 60 Grin. They do not have any halving. It's always going to be 60 Grin per block. Epicash is 16 as of September 2019. And Beam is 40 as of September 2019. And I believe Epicash and Beam both have halvings. Now, block time, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Algorithm block share, Cuckoo 29D, 100%. Then for Epicash, it's initially 60% GPU, RandomX, CPU, RandomX, 38% GPU, ProgPow, and 2% ASIC, C31 plus. And they adjust as the blockchain matures. Now, Beam hash is 100% what the algorithm block share for Beam. Now, you can go more into this, check out the different block explorers, grinexplorer.net for Grin, explorer.epic.tech for Epicash, and explorer.beam.mw for Beam. Circulating supply for Grin is 19,647,916 as of September 2019, 350,000 for Epic as of September 2019, and 33,707,600 for Beam as of September 2019. Grin has no limit. They just continue to inflate the currency. Epicash is the same as Bitcoin and will match Bitcoin in December 2140. Beam, their supply limit is 262,800,000. Mining algorithms, I'm not going to go too much into this. You guys can, if you're interested in mining, you can find out all these. Epic is a multi-algorithm proof of work coin, so you can use RandomX, ProgPow, Cuckoo, Grin is Cuckoo, and Beam is Equihash. All right, monetary policy. Now, I'm an Austrian economics guy. I come from the world of gold and silver. That is what my past is. So of course, I'm going to be into deflationary cryptocurrencies. I personally would never buy Grin because it is inflationary. I don't see it as a store of value at all. If I just want to make transactions, it's great, right? Let's go through a little bit about what each of these can do. Grin, inflationary. Currently, a new Grin is emitted every second, and it's likely to stay that way forever, meaning that the supply inflation rate stays constant, meaning that Grin has infinite supply. Now, to read more into this, but for me, that's a big no-no. If I want my money to be worth something. Now, Epic, deflationary. The Epicash monetary supply is designed to synchronize the Epic circulating supply with Bitcoin's circulating supply in roughly 9 years and reach the same maximum limit of supply of 21 million units at the same time as Bitcoin. if you like Bitcoin because of its store value properties, then I would also take a look at Epic because it's going to match the Bitcoin emission rate. So Epic Singularity around May 24th, 2028, that's when it matches up with Bitcoin. Beam, deflationary coin. Beam emission schedule is also largely inspired by Bitcoin's. The main difference are that there are 10 times more blocks, and that Beam's first year emission is 100 Beam coins per block. The first halving occurs after 1 year, and then halvings occur every 4 years, 33 times in total. The total supply is 262,800,000 Beam, and at the moment there are 36,628,080 Beam on the market. So hey, it's just like Bitcoin's, but it's just a lot more coins available. So it's still, as far as deflation is concerned, it's still a deflationary coin. Governance model. Grin, community-driven project. Grin is open source and available on GitHub. The Grin project has more than 75 contributors, 8 of which have contributed the vast majority of the code. Grin community has decided against setting up a central foundation and has compiled an interesting discussion of the pros and cons of a centralized foundation, resulting with the Grin community coming to the conclusion that while foundations are useful, they do not provide the only solution to governance problems, and have therefore opted to remain a completely decentralized, community-driven project. Currently, decisions are made at periodic governance meetings that are convened on Gitter with community members, where an agenda is discussed and decisions are ratified. Agendas and minutes of these meetings can be found in the Grin Forums governance section. Even though this governance type is quite slow and not as efficient as, for example, Beam, it is more close to what crypto was made for: decentralization. Beam takes the point. Okay, so Beam startup. Beam is open source, available on GitHub. Beam has 20 contributors, 10 of which have contributed the vast majority of the code. Beam has opted to set up a foundation that includes the core developers to manage the project, arguing their decision with the fact that this is the route taken by most cryptocurrency projects. In this space, Beam's governance and early funding resemble a startup approach where full-time developers and contributors are hired in a traditional company setting. The Beam Foundation currently oversees the project. A nonprofit is to be set up in Switzerland that will guide the development of the network. Beam sought investment from VC firms and is actively seeking development partners, as well as the establishment of the Beam Sovereign Money Foundation this year. The decision-making process is strongly dependent on those investors' opinion. Even though Beam proved efficient, the fact they owe to investors and the whole decisional power is in the hands of a CEO moves Beam away from a decentralization. Now, Epic. Epic's a hybrid. Epic is open source and available on GitLab. The project has 20 co-contributors, 7 of which are main ones. Epic community named Freeman family share the same opinion as Grin regarding the idea of decentralization. Thus, in the trade-off between efficiency and decentralization, they chose the second. However, Epic governance model is merely a hybrid of best practices from both Grin's ideologist cypherpunk model and Beam's corporate structure, combining the decision-making process of Grin but via a Telegram group, and Beam's foundation in order to ensure the project with necessary resources for long-term, uninterrupted development. Thus, Epic doesn't offer full decisional power to a small group of people. Instead, everybody a chance to participate in the process via its Telegram group. Decentralized decision-making combined with a foundation that will ensure the project with necessary funds is a perfect trade-off made by Freeman family in order to ensure the project's efficient development. All right, funding model. Grin, 100% community-funded project. Grin didn't involve any ICO, pre-mining, or any other token sale to investors. It does not have a company behind it, so no investors attracted. Grin did not have levy a dev tax in the mining wars and will rely on community participation and community funding. The Grin project does accept financial support, but these funding campaigns are conducted according to their community funding principles, which will be conducted on a need-by-need basis. All right. Community funded project. You know, I've been part of a few of these over the years, and it can be a little bit frustrating sometimes not having the funds to help get the word out about how great the project is or how much it can help the world. All right. So wish Grin best of luck, but they chose the hard road. Epic chose mining contribution. Epic Cash was fairly launched without an ICO or pre-mine and was fair. There is a mining contribution which is directed to the nonprofit educational organization Epic Blockchain Foundation for development and promotion of the project, aiming at efficiency and sustainability of the project. Epic combined best practices. Epic mining contributions. Epic Cash was fairly launched without an ICO or pre-mine. There is a mining contribution which is directed to the nonprofit educational organization Epic Blockchain Foundation for development and promotion of the project. Aiming at efficiency and sustainability project, Epic combined best practices from both Grin and Bean's funding model and implemented a hybrid system between Grin's community decision-making and Bean's funds collecting through a mining contribution. However, it isn't as big as Bean's 20%, and the funds will be 100% be used for the development of the Epic ecosystem. No investors and neither team members' motivation. Epic funds will be transparently spent for technical development and promoting awareness and utility of the Epic Cash project during the early years of its inception. By creating marketing activities and developing partnerships within the financial technology industry, after the singularity, the Epic Foundation role will be assumed by the Epic Distributed Autonomous Corporation, EDAC, that will be developed by a foundation prior to the handover. Epic mining contribution is smaller than the Zcash or Bean's 20%. It will initiate at 8.88% level in 2019, annually decreasing by 1.11% till it reaches 0% in 2028 at the singularity. Bean. Bean states that there is no pre-mine or ICO, so at the time of mainnet, it launched with 0 coins in existence. However, they set up a limited liability company and have attracted investors to its initial round of nonprofit Bean Foundation that will take over the management of the protocol during the first year after launch. The goal of the foundation will be to support maintenance and further development of Bean, promote relevant cryptographic research, support awareness and education in the areas of financial privacy, and support academic work in adjacent areas, and also ensure that investors are getting their profits back through a mining tax. In the industry, this treasury mechanism is called a dev tax. In the first year, the 20 beans per block, or 20%, are emitted to the treasury, and in years 2 to 5, the treasury will receive 10 coins per block, or 20%. Thus, Bean will get a 20% contribution from the miners to Bean Treasury, which will distribute the funds accordingly. Investors, 35% Bean core team and advisors, 45% Bean Foundation, 20% the biggest threat of this combination of LLC and increased dev taxes. That money will be purposely used to develop the project, but merely to profit initial investors. So, that's when you have investors expect to get paid off, right? So that's the approach Bean took. So overall, it's clear to me as a longtime crypto guy, I believe in privacy. I believe that we should have deflation rather than inflation as far as store of wealth. I want my funds to be able to be transferred privately. I think that Epic Cash, with their 8.88% mining tax in the first year to help let the world know about the project, this is all very wise. I think they're doing a great job. So check them out. Epic.tech is the website. Get to know the team by joining the Telegram. Just to let the world know, I am the social media manager for the team. I've been around many crypto projects. This is not my first rodeo. Very glad that we decided to come on board this project. I really believe that the Freeman family idea is something that all of us should aspire to. Transparency is great for government. Transparency is great for all these other things. When it comes to my money, it better be private. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoyed this presentation about Mimblewimble coins. Have a great day.